Hi, Rubik.
Hi, hi.
How are you today?
Thanks, God. Thank you very much for inviting me in your show.
Thank you for inviting us to your house, to
Yeah,
your home.
thank you.
Thank you.
This is the house of God, so it's house for everyone. And
Yeah.
you're welcome to this show. You're welcome to uh, my church, this church. God
Thank you
bless.
so much.
My name is Rubik Hosepian. I am from a family with three brothers, which they are all pastors. And I grew up in Iran. I was born in Tehran. And actually, since I came to America 30 years ago, I have a story about my persecution and my life in Iran. That's why I came here. So if you want, you can continue your questions.
Of course. Tell me your story. Tell me about your family. Three pastors.
Yeah.
It's a lot in one
Yeah.
family.
Actually, my dad was born in a Muslim family, which my grandfather was Italian mafia. So
Oh, from Italian mafia to pastors. It's interesting.
it was very interesting because I didn't know that my dad was adopted by Armenian family, but his real mother was Muslim and his real father was Italian. So I grew up with a family, then later I find out all this, but because my mom married twice, so two brothers were from first marriage, me and my youngest brother were from second marriage. And it was hard because since I was born, we had a culture that Armenian, they can't accept the Muslim. And when your father or mother is from different religion, different background. So I had that cultural and religion difference from childhood.
Wait,
So
if Armenians, they're Orthodox, right?
Armenian are Orthodox, but our church was Protestant. So
Protestant.
my mom went to Protestant church, become a member. Then me and my three brothers, all we grew up in Protestant church. We had a little church denominational issue because Armenian, they were telling us you're Orthodox. Why you change your religion? For then, with all this stuff, revolution started. When revolution started in Iran and Khomeini came to power, everything started change. For example, the war started, Iran and Iraq war. And my company, I was working with telephone company, they forced me to go to war. They said, because you have to defend your country. And on that time, I was 20 years old. So I went to war, and 1 year I was in war as an army. Then I get married, and when I came back from war to my company, now they told me you have to go back to war zone Ahvaz and start to work for us to repair all the telephone company cables. And I had a team with me, so after my marriage, I went to war in Ahvaz, and for 7 years I was working there. Very hard job. Like the weather is like Phoenix, Arizona, so hot. And we started a home church. A home church, it means we invited Muslim, Arabs, Kurds, the people around us to hear the gospel, to hear the word of God. And pastors, as a person like me, there were a lot of Muslims, they asked me that we want to come and hear from you about Jesus.
Wow, it's
And
unexpected.
what happened when we start our church, our home church, then secret police started to continue to watch me. And after 7 years, they arrest me and put me in solitary. It was my punishment because by Islamic law, you are not allowed to speak about your own religion to Muslim. If you change your religion, you are subject to die, even though we call it infidel. So if a Muslim change from Islam to any other religion in Iran, they are subject for strong persecution. So they put me 28 days in solitary. After solitary, I went back to Tehran to be pastor for Armenians. So Armenian, because by generation, by nation, they are Christian. So government, they shouldn't do anything. But again, because I was active, every 2 weeks, secret police called me and for hours and hours, question again. They said, you are CIA. Maybe I look CIA, but I was not CIA. I swear God.
What did they ask you?
Oh, because after Islamic Revolution, the mind of Iranian regime is any pastors or any missionary, they come to Iran, they are CIA. This is their mentality. And they were so angry at us. So after 2 years back and forth with this police issue, secret police, I make a decision to come out of country. So with my pregnant wife and two little girls, we escaped Iran to Germany. 1993, we came out of Iran. We came to Germany. We were in Germany for 16 months.
My question, how did you get out?
On that time, it was like I bought visa.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, I bought visa. I lost my homes, everything. So just buy some money. I just go to one Armenian guy. He prepaid for me tourist visa for France. We came to Paris, and in the night with a smuggler and with my pregnant wife, 5 years old and 3 years old daughter, we passed the board from Paris to Germany, Heidelberg. And it's very, very, I wish I could make a movie about
Was it scary?
It was, because my wife was pregnant and it was very hard for her. And I remember when we passed in the night the border, and I was really, in my heart, I was like crying, miss my brothers, miss my family. Now with these 3 kids, what can I do? And we were in a dirty camp. That in that camp in Heidelberg were from international, from every group they were there. So one day I went to welfare office, and the guy who is social, they say social office in Germany, he make fun of me, say, Pastor, why you don't pray that God give you 3-bedroom apartment? I was supported and make fun of me.
You're so
I
rude.
said, if I find a place, can you support that? Near his all co-workers say, I promise, but no one is giving you apartment as a refugee in this city, which Heidelberg is a tourist city. I went with this clergy in the street. I look at him and I say, God, show this man that don't make fun of me. But I promise you, if I got my home and our child was born, I promise you to build many new church here. And what happened, I went to first landlord with this clergy, and I said, sir, I lost everything in Iran. And I came with my wife and 3 kids now. Our son was born, and I need you help me to find the apartment. He looked at me and said, because Pastor, I'm a Christian, I give my apartment to you, 3-bedroom.
Oh my God.
And the contract was 2,500 mark. And that time, 32 years ago, it was too high. So I brought the contract and I called this social guy. I said, come sit near me and bring your co-worker. You make fun of me, and now I'm telling you, this is the contract and you have to sign it. He was yelling, I can't. I said, listen, you make fun of me and you make a deal. Now you have to sign it. He signed the contract.
You signed it.
He signed it.
Like, it's a miracle.
So we went in a 3-bedroom house, very clean, very nice. But what we did, as I promised God, I purchased an old car. It was Audi, and I started to drive with my wife and 3 kids to help refugees in Germany. We drove 46,000 kilometers to plant 3 new small groups for refugees. So I went to German church. I said, in your city in Marburg, we have 200 refugees. I want to bring them once in the week in your church as a club. I want to start Armenian and Persian class. I want somebody to help them to learn German language and keep our community. By that way, after 46,000 miles, 2 months later, I see my money that government is giving from social is 600 mark more. So I went to that social guy and say, why you give me 600 mark more? He said, government, they make decision to pay you more because you didn't tell us you are helping with refugees. So when I tell this, it's a real story. I didn't make this story. So when I talk about that, I learned that when you have passion and when you have love, any country you go, that passion is making a big change. You don't sit and cry for Ukraine, for Armenia, for Iran. Oh, I lost my country. You start a fresh life. So that's why I'm really proud of now to share my heart to you for those audience that see this, that you can be survive in any condition if you have passion. And I have 5 words: your passion, patience, peace, power, and perseverance. If you have that, it's impossible you get depressed. But depression will come to you if we are just living for us. We are crying for us. We live for us. I'm preaching for you. That's your problem. You invited pastor.
How did you come to America?
So we went after 1993. We were in Germany. I applied for being in America with my wife and kids because my wife's brother was in California in Berlin. Our relatives mostly they moved here as immigrant. So I thought maybe that's better chance for my family to have American citizenship. And when you have American passport, there is more chance for you to travel in other countries.
Yeah.
And actually, a little bit for rain, I have very sensitive to see every day it's cloud. I get depressed. So Germany was a country that 80% we see cloud and rain, and I said,
Oh,
no, it's
okay.
too much. So we moved 1993 to California. But in 1993, when I came to start fresh life again, what happened in 1994, my brother was killed by Muslim terrorists in Iran. And my oldest brother, yes, my oldest brother was 48 years old. His name was Haik Hovsepian. So as I told you, you can click A Cry from Iran and you see his story. He died to save a pastor. He died because the pastor was Muslim converted. They keep him 10 years in prison. And my brother heard that in 870 they want to kill him silently. And my brother wrote a letter for United Nations to release this man, and he did that. By force of United Nations, they released Mehdi Dibaj, the pastor in jail, prison, and my brother, after 2 days, was kidnapped. They killed him with 26 knives. So I was here, I was crying because I love my brother so much. He was my mentor. No, I said, God, why you did this to me? So I don't want to make you cry.
You already made me cry.
I don't want to damage your makeup. I'm sorry. But
That's
one
okay.
thing was very strange for me that again, when you come in a condition that now your brother is killed, your mother and father is far, you are dealing with 3 small children, you are in a new culture, you don't know well the language, you don't know the culture, you don't know everything, how you can survive again? And it's not because I'm Superman, it's not because I'm different, we are all humans. But when I came here, I remember I was registered to Glendale Community College. I was going with tear in my face to class and tear in my face come and go because I couldn't go back to my brother's funeral. What happened? I saw in Iranian TV this Islamic terrorist regime started to accuse my brother that he was CIA. That's why terrorists, we killed him. And what happened? I make a promise to go on TV and start a Voice of Love program.
Voice of love.
Voice of Love. So when I heard that my brother is now, I miss him. I make a decision to start an Iranian show to show love against hate. And I called an Iranian showman. His name was Amu Purang. He was very famous. I said, Amu Purang, Islamic government, they killed my brother, but I want to tell them love is more effective than hate. This man cried and said, Pastor Rubik, I give you half an hour TV show, but it's gonna be 2 o'clock in the Saturday morning. In the morning, I said, who is going to watch me 2 o'clock? He said, my show is from 12 to 2, so I will introduce you, and 2 o'clock to 2:30, I give you a chance, but you have to pay $600. I said, okay, 30 years ago, $600, how I can pay that?
Is it like for for a month or?
No, every time.
Every time for 30 minutes, $600. Wow.
So what happened? I had no money, so because I lost everything, I started to paint the building. I went to make a contract and painting the
Oh, you
building
painted. Okay.
to get money for that. And because no church was supporting me on that. So before we record the program and the Voice of Love comes, and I preach first Farsi and then Armenian and a little bit English, and I become so famous. In
Oh.
America, you can be very famous easily, and you can ruin your life easily.
Pros and
One
cons.
day they make you superstar, next day they put you in garbage can. This is capitalism. So what
Yes.
happened? In short time, I had 700 calls from
Wow.
that TV program, 2 o'clock until 2:30. And because before I recorded, so I was awake, I was listening, and I had my phone number. People start to call. Muslim, they start to call, Pastor, we are so sorry to hear your brother is dead. How we can love you, how we can help you. And I was listening and praying for people until 7 o'clock in the morning. So when I recorded my program before, and now in my program type, people call me, I had calls until 7 in the morning.
So the program ended up, but you keep
But the people
answering?
call me nonstop.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was in shock because next day is Sunday. So Saturday night when they were show, Sunday they don't have job.
Oh,
So it was changed. And what happened? I started a church in Burbank with 7 people. In 1 year, church come to 700.
it's impressive.
700. And I become one of the famous pastors among Armenian Iranian. But the problem didn't stop because Muslims, they called me, and 2 pastors, which they are business pastors, it's very painful. They warned me that they will not leave you alone here, even in America,
Why?
because you're active among Muslim here, and Muslims, they don't like you be active in America.
Because you baptized Muslim
I
people here,
baptized
right?
1,200 Muslim in America. At the same time that I was here, I started to do different jobs. Because in Iran, our churches were under one umbrella. All the pastors, they had salary. But here, if you don't have member, you don't have money.
Yes.
So when my church to grow, the church that I was famous, 700 people, they were all refugee. They were all mostly Armenian and Iranian in Burbank. And the American church that they gave me a place to preach, they came to me and say, how you bring these 700 people immediately in this church? We need rent, we need money. I said,
They
listen.
asked money from you.
Yeah. And I said, these people, they saw my program, The Voice of Love. and they don't know about tithing, they don't know about money. Why you force them? And I remember we had a lot of problem with that church. Make this story short, there was a setup here, and they sent a lady to my church. And the lady accused that this pastor verbally tried to kill me and said, I'm going to destroy you, and no one accepting him, but you don't believe. In the court, she brought a false witness, and government gave me terrorist threat in 2000 when it was a big attack for 9/11, and they put me in LA County jail, 233 days in jail because you accused this lady for terrorist threat. And now imagine you are going to jail again here. Your name is in news, and now you are famous in opposite side. I'm telling my story to you. I'm not making joke of you. So now my 3 kids again with my wife, they come and visit me in jail because the time goes to 9/11. It was a very tough time. The lawyer that I had, the lawyer told me, if you want to fight and go to trial, it takes at least 3 months more. DA wants you to accept this no contest for this verbally terrorist threat. At least you will be free and your case will be wobbler. So I accepted that 6 months. But what happened in jail? I'm telling you another story. Being among 60 criminals, which were drug dealer, all the murders, now I am the only Iranians in September 11, and every night I am preaching for prayer time. The only time that black and white and Mexican and others, they can come for prayer is only 15 or 20 minutes before you sleep. You can speak, pray. It's only time you have.
Why? Why is it only time?
Because before sleeping, the jail let you have a pray.
Okay.
So I said, pray time, pray time. One night I was so sad because I missed my kids. I was so angry. My name was in news. And in America, they destroy your name very easily. Just even you didn't do anything, they are not sure. You go to news, even you prove you're innocent, already they damage your character. This is a culture. I can't tell bad or good. But what happened? I learned in jail who the hell I am. Because when the 28 days I was in Iran with solitary, now I'm in a new jail that Mexican and black and white and others all in cell, and everyone has his own group. So if you are belong to white American, you can't talk with black in daytime. Because you are belong to white gang. If you are with the black, you're not allowed to speak with Southside Mexican.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. So in jail now, I am in 3 bed. I'm in the middle. The under was a Mexican friend. The top is a black guy with 300 pounds in my face. And I'm like a sandwich in the middle.
So what's gonna happen if you talk to somebody during the
In
day?
daytime, they punish you. If you are belong to Southside group, Mexican, and you talk with blacks, they call you, they warn you, next time we see you are talking with these guys, you are going to have problem with us.
It's a jail?
In jail is like that.
Not, I mean, like, that's not the people from these groups. It's a jail.
No, not jail people, the prisoner.
Oh, the prisoner?
They have the,
Oh,
prisoner, they have a room. If you are with us, you're not allowed to talk with others. So it happened when I was in jail here, and it was accusation for me. I find out that in the hardest time of your life, again, you can switch that hard time in your life to positive. So what I started to do, rather than sitting and crying for that 233 days that I stayed there, I went to computer class.
Oh, they do computer class?
Yes, they let you go to computer class for 3 hours a day.
Not bad.
So I went and I learned Access and Excel and Word, which my wife in outside paid $6,000 for that. I get my certificate free.
But you were not free.
I gave soup to a brother, a black guy, and I said, you teach me how to draw face painting, and I give you soup more.
Oh, you shared your soup, your food with somebody else. It's amazing. Why did you need this face painting?
I like it. I was like dying to learn how to paint the face. So third, I started to reach these people and talk to them about God's love. September 11, they make this decision that this Iranian guy, maybe we can harm him in the jail.
So you were in a jail that time?
That time, yeah. That's why I couldn't come out easily. Because it ended up with September 11, and my lawyer said if you go to trial, it's very bad time now. Because the lady accused me for terrorist threat verbally. On that time, it was a crime because after O.J. Simpson in California, they make this decision that anyone verbally say, I'm going to kill you, you are subject for persecution. So anyway, to make it short, when I came out of jail, again, I asked myself what I'm going to do. I started to put sticker on the car, and I started to continue my church because my church member, they back up me. They support my wife, my kids on that time. They believe me. So when I come out, I continue my church. But what happened in my church? Little by little, Muslims started to come. And we continue our ministry, and I become a drug counselor. I went to Glendale Community College. I get my degree.
Why? Because you had a lot of
A lot of
with a
people,
problem.
they had drug problem. By TV, I had a lot of call that my son is in drug. And I had chance to go to Glendale College to get my degree with alcohol and drug studies in 34 units and become a drug counselor. We sent 700 kids to rehab.
Wow.
And imagine, in hardest time in your life, you can be depressed and sit in a home, and you can be an alcoholic. You can be drug addicted. You can tell yourself why these things happen to me. But among all that accusation, among all that problem, it's not because of me, because of God. It's because of your passion. You can get survive. You can start. So I started to preach in America in 48 states. Many Christian organizations invited me to talk about my brother and persecution in Iran. And believe me, I could raise $270,000 by my English with this broken English.
Wow.
Sometimes I was preaching, they cry. I say, is that God working, or maybe you don't understand my English? For example, one time I said, rather than this teeth, I said this. I said, open your teeth. And every ladies were looking, what is this dirty pastor is talking? And one time I said, you're unique. Rather than I say you're unique, I say you're unique. And the meaning
Unique
of
and
unique
unique.
is so different. And it was my experience when you messed up in English. But again,
Have you been accused for sexual harassment or no?
not yet. Not yet. About the hate, I want to tell you, we are living in a country in America that a lot of people trying to use hate and racism against each other. Even though in the churches in America, I can see you, we say black church, we say white church, we say Armenian church. And in jail, what I learned after the people, they are fighting together for race, but real democracy that we should think about in America, our kids are growing up in one school. My children, best friends are Korean and American. But when I tell them come in our Armenian church or Iranian church, they are telling me, Dad, why we should go to Armenian church when we grow up in America. So my subject about hate is when you start to love people, when you have that feeling to love people, there is a power against hate. Because to be honest, if I could go on and talk with people, those that killed my brother, and tell them I love you, it was more effective than I said I'm going to kill those people that killed my brother. And it was my personal experience and testimony, I'm telling you, since I started to become a drug counselor. When families, they are calling me, my son is in heroin, and that's why I want to say my son, the ladies, they said, my son is in heroin. I said, okay, lady, I'm coming to talk for intervention. I don't ask, are you Baha'i? Are you Armenian? Are you Iranian? Are you Jewish? I go there for intervention. Sometimes, even though I don't go with clergy, I don't tell them I'm pastor. Why? Because when you say you're pastor, the Muslims say, oh, do you want to advertise your religion? No. Unconditional love. I'm telling you this. It helped me. That's why we have no homeless ministry. We have convalescent. As a chaplain for hospice, last 6 years I become a chaplain. So those people are dying alone. You know how many moms and dads we have in convalescent home that their kids never met them for last 5 years because mom or dad has dementia or Alzheimer? They leave them alone like a leftover. We buy flower for them. We go put the flower near this mom who had, like in Valentine, never had any visitor. And I put flower near her nose. She wake up and say, who is this? I said, I came to tell you, Mom, I love you. And you don't know, I'm getting emotion last 6 years, how God changed my life. I wish those people, they see this program, not only a kind of interview. I'm telling you, with love, you can change everything. With love, we can fight with hate. With love, we can build our family. It doesn't matter. I call that unconditional love. The Jesus that I'm preaching about, he feed the hunger. He helped. He said, if you go to prison, you are doing for me. If you feed the hunger. So that's why love is not a business. Love is not, I'm paying your church my money, give me a letter for tax contribution. You are making business with God. Love is not God, I'm coming to church, you heal my body, I will follow you. Don't make business with God. Unconditionally love people. That's why my key is that. So I have team. 20 young people, we take them to hospital with 20 flowers. We visit 20 patients. Wednesday morning, I have food bank. I go to food bank with a small truck, 2,000 pound food. We go to downtown, we go to Bakersfield, which is the center of drug in America, and we feed the homeless people.
More homeless people have appeared due to unemployment because of the COVID-19. And many churches have increased their food donations to these people. For someone, it's the only way to get food.
We have team to send to counseling, for drug counseling. We send them to Glendale College to get their certificate. We have 52,000 drug center, rehab center in America. They can get a good job. So by these jobs that we do, now I find out the ministry is not just going on this pulpit and preaching 2 hours about God's love. Doing something. That's why I'm telling you, those people have no vision. America has no space for them. Listen, this sentence is very important. Those people have no vision. America has no space for them. Why? We're not coming to America just get welfare. My son is a Marine. I'm so proud. He came to me and said, Dad, I want to serve this country. I said, why? I said, Dad, when we came in this country, Every time dentists call us, come, it's your time to check your for dent. And Dad, which country is like that? And that's why I'm so proud to be in America. I'm so proud to serve in a country, or my son serve in a country that there is real democracy. It's not perfect. We have still racist problem. We have still a lot of problem with financial. This is capitalism country, but it shows if you have in your heart passion, this is a country for you. So my son went to Marine. My another daughter, Pauline, she is now a doctor. Next year, she's going to be medical school. She graduate. My another daughter has master in English. She's teacher. So I couldn't raise 3 kids in my country with this condition. But now, in this country, government gave us this chance. So for those people, they watch this program. You can change everything, even when you are in a bed that in the top is a guy giving you gas in your face. The guy in the bottom is smelling bad, and you are like a sandwich in the middle. Even in that condition, you can change the world. Even the condition, the people they accuse for anything in newspaper, you can come out. You can put sticker in the car. You can do driving Uber, or you can teach in university, but you can change the world.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Great, great.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let me know how it all started.
Oh, okay. As to darbuka, I would say I was 4 years old. The way I knew is because my mom put a VHS cassette, you know, those old cassettes?
Yes.
And it was Christmas night, 1993, because I'm born 89. So then I saw myself playing on a bucket, you know, the bucket, a blue one. I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that I was already like in my blood, I guess I was just drumming. So then I really loved to drum, and my first drum, I was 6, 1995. My dad bought me my first drum. It was like probably that big, so it was very heavy, and I'm like 6 just carrying it. We bought it from Biblos. Yeah, so I guess it's like I would say this is like something I was born with, you know?
Did your dad play darbuka?
No.
No?
The funny part, my uncle did. My uncle, yeah, he lives in Canada, but he played professionally for a long time.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
know that, so I guess, you know, it's kind of like in the
How
family.
jams work?
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. And for how long did you play? Since you were 4, right?
Yes, I'm 34 today, so 30
years? Oh my God, we have to celebrate this.
Yeah.
And when you moved to the United States, did you have this idea to play darbuka here?
No,
No?
I was going on a whole different journey. I was actually resentful towards drums and the music industry because I was in Lebanon in a company. I was not feeling good, not getting paid enough, or you know. So I moved here to follow a Hollywood dream. I wanted to be a movie star. So I came here December 8, 2012. I brought one drum with me. It's not here right now. It looks like this one. Only one drum. Because I thought this is how I could stay here. I'll just drum to make money so I could go audition, act, do all that. You know?
Okay, so you still had a plan B.
It was a plan B. It was my support, my backup. So I came here, I went to New York Film Academy, Universal Studios. I did 2 months workshop, 8 weeks. I met my acting coach there, and I went on that journey, and I actually joined his class, and I was doing acting, but I couldn't work because I was a student. So I couldn't legally work or do anything that I could get paid for. So I was doing a lot of short films for student short films, and I kind of waiting to do something with my visa so I could start doing actual work. Yeah.
You must be a good and a strong boy. And one day you become a great man with God's mercy. Don't interfere with my business. I don't want any problems. I don't need any problems.
I think it's the third warning. The first one was the 96 Declaration of Jihad, then the February Fatwa, and now Bin Laden's going straight to the American people.
Friend and I need to borrow your car. Dang! Bro!
How did you get the visa?
Oh man, long story. Wow. Bunch of stuff. I did apply for an asylum case in the beginning because of the Lebanon situation and me being a Christian, so I was kind of like applying on that kind of thing. But then, and I got a work permit from there, but then I got married to my wife and I got my actual like green card from my wife.
She's an American.
Yes.
You said you're Christian?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't you have a lot of Arabic people back in Lebanon?
Yes.
Right?
So supposedly I'm Arabic. There's a lot of Arabic Christians that people maybe don't know about. Yeah.
Arabic Christian?
Yes.
Can you explain
like
what
myself.
it is?
I'm an Arabic Christian.
How does it work?
Well, because Arabic is a region, right? Arabic is like, I believe there are 22 countries. So anything that is like, it's a region, right? Arabic world, right? But the people, they have different religions. You got Muslim, you got Christians, and you got Catholics and Orthodox, and then you got Sunnah and Shia, a bunch of religions.
Okay, but
Yeah.
can you be Christian back in Lebanon?
Yeah.
Aren't you prosecuted for being
No,
Christian?
no, not in Lebanon.
No, not in Lebanon?
No, not at all. It's pretty good, pretty free country to be able to practice. We have a lot of churches. We have a lot of
Interesting.
Yeah. No, it's not like that.
Because previously I had a guest, he's from Iran.
That's probably different.
Yeah,
Way
it's
different.
completely different, yeah.
Yeah, no. It used to be like that maybe in the 70s. We had a war, but right now it's not like that. People coexist and live. Obviously, there's always political problems, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's safe, I would say, for the most part.
And for how long did you do acting?
So acting, that's interesting, because acting, I did join a theater in Lebanon. When I turned 18, I went to school. I did 4 years major in theater. And then I was in a TV shows back home. I was kind of known, you know. I was like national TV shows. Yeah, I did
Movie
like
star.
Yeah, I was.
Show star. TV show star.
I was. I actually, it's funny stories because I was in that TV show. It was very known, like very big TV show. And I'm like 19 and I still don't have a car, so I wait for the bus in the morning to go to school. And people will be driving. I'm like, yeah, that's me. They'll be like, is that? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Did they pay you well for this show?
No. I mean, I don't know what well is. Like, I got paid $100. I don't know what's that mean. Like, it was money. I don't know. I mean, back then it was not bad, but it's still $100. Like, but I just started, so I didn't know. And then everything changed because I actually was going always back and forth between acting and music. Because if that is like my main passion, acting is something I picked up in my life, you know. But yeah, I mean, I kind of came here to pursue the movie star dream more than the drumming, you know. Yeah.
Why did you switch? What happened, you know?
Interesting. I switched because I got to a point, which we talked about actually before we started. I got tired like auditioning and trying to fit another role or somebody else's, you know,
vision.
Yeah. Or like somebody else's role. Like I wanted to be myself. I didn't want to be other people characters or like I wanted to be me, Mark. So who's Mark? Well, Mark is a drummer, is somebody who's fun and like to make music and make people dance and you know, I have a slogan that says drum your worries away. So I'm all about peace and drumming. So I kind of start like being turned off by acting and always trying to fit in a role or audition for somebody I don't even connect with a lot because and I changed a lot because I used to be very dramatic and I want to play dramatic roles and I became more peaceful. I just want to do like things that matters and drums became more meaningful for me. So I wanted to really be more into drums.
How did you find your first job?
Here?
Yeah, as a darbuka player.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So I met this guy that is a friend in common with somebody back home and he played the guitar and he was a music producer. So that's a good connection. So I started jamming with him. Then he had a singer, a friend of his. So my first job I actually worked in a restaurant in Culver City called Gabby's. And it was an Arabic restaurant, so I'll be the guy on the oud, which is a string Arabic instrument, and I'll play the drums. And I remember I was getting paid like, I don't know, $62
62 for the whole night?
For like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad actually.
I mean, yeah.
60? Yeah, now you're making more, right?
Way more. But yeah,
But
like,
still, if you take the minimum wage,
actually, you're right. It's not
right?
bad.
It's
You're
60
right.
for 3 hours, it's $20
It's like
per
$20.
hour.
It's not bad.
So people gonna say he's spoiled, right?
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't see it like
Listen
that.
about
This is to be grateful. I like that. I was not grateful then. I was not grateful.
Yep.
Right.
And I saw you were at Coachella,
Yeah.
right? How did you get on this?
Wow, Coachella was such a beautiful thing. So it's a long story. I could make it short, but my Instagram's starting to kind of like get a lot of recognition. I was getting a lot of views on videos. Like I never got like, you know, like I have videos that have 700,000 views and stuff like that, right? I know some people have millions, but I'm talking about where I was and what I got. And then this guy DM'd me, and he's a very known singer, the band Magic, right? He's very known. We could look him up later. But he liked what I did, and he invited me to record on his song. But then I find out he is Arabic, like born, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So then I find out that he's with all these people that I actually like The Weeknd, you know The Weeknd, like, and Doja Cat, and all these people. They're actually in a big label company that is owned by a Lebanese person, right? So then from that, a year after, I got called for Eliana, who's the singer I worked with for Coachella, because they knew me kind of, and they wanted exactly these instruments because they're ethnic, they're Arabic, Lebanese, Palestinian, you know, Syrian, all this region. So that's how I got called for the gig. It's kind of like through.
That's interesting. Just one connection leads to more connections,
I know.
right?
And you never know. Like this guy, I didn't know he knew everybody, and then I met Eliana, and they're all the same kind of label. And now I'm working with them. I actually worked with them. I did Coachella, and then we did another private party together, and there's more stuff, hopefully.
Coachella is one of the largest and most popular music festival in the world. The first Coachella festival only cost $50 a day. Right now, the prices are going from $100 to $270 for general admissions. When did you realize that you are unique?
Oh, I like this question. Okay, I would say, I'm gonna be cocky about this, but I did recognize this even back home when I started putting the drum on a strap. So a lot of people, this tradition drum, they put it in their laps and they sit down and they drum. But me and another guy back home, and we kind of start putting it on the strap, but took it from a traditional way of playing it to more club vibe, to more like different scene where we could play the darbuka on like American music or European music, not just Arabic. Yeah. And we started kind of having a style about it. So we used to wear army pants and boots and black shirt. We had long hair and beards, and we just come out and drum. I kind of like, it was like, I don't know, I thought it was like a sexy thing to do back home, like kind of, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it was like people liked it, so we became famous doing that, and we became kind of unique, you know. And when I moved here, I actually, you know, I'm thankfully, I brought this style here. People didn't do that here. With my instruments, they did not put a strap with a doombag. Nobody did that.
Nobody.
I brought that here to an industry which is an American, Middle Eastern industry where you get to be your own star. So now I'm like the darbuka guy alone that I play with a DJ, and I don't need a band, or I do my own show. You know?
That's cool.
That's
Just
a
simple
blessing.
hint. Yours a simple hint to put the strap.
Yeah.
Made you famous.
Made me different because I took
different
it.
and famous because that's how you grew up your audience, right?
Yes.
Did you post every day? How did you get all these followers?
Yeah, I post. It started like after COVID. I started working at cool places, and people were like, really, you know, they want to go out and stuff. And I started working in Hollywood. It was called Rendezvous. It was like a hookah lounge, like kind of like cabaret style. Okay. So I started posting a lot of videos from there, doing a lot of shows with DJs, mixing my instruments with like Latin, American, European music. So people were like, okay, that sounds great and different. And I started posting a lot, and I guess just kind of like from there, people liked it and shared it, and I kind of went viral in that.
Did you do reels?
I did reels. Oof.
I think
The reels were great.
work, right?
Yeah, reels were amazing.
Because music sounds great. I checked it and it just gives you so much energy
Thank
and
you.
a good positive energy.
Thank you, yeah.
And that's what people need. I
Yeah.
believe that's why it becomes very popular.
Yes, yeah. Thank
That's
God.
awesome.
It was a good thing for me, you know, and now I'm like in that kind of motion. I'm kind of writing it.
That's amazing. You don't have any agents, nothing. Do you have any contracts or are you just working by yourself?
So right now I don't have an agent. I'm a freelancer on my own. I have a company, which is Al Khoury Entertainment, my last name.
Yours?
I'm in the middle of LLC it and like make it more legit, but I have it and I do sign contracts with everybody I work with. There is a whole, you know, concept to do it, and my wife actually helped me do that. She kind of helped me make the company happen with contracts, flyers, make it more legit. So right now, anytime a client calls me, it's all like contracts and there's a price fee and I get paid hourly and everything. Like it's very professional versus how it used to be just like, show up, whatever, you know.
Experience.
You want to make it more professional. Yeah.
But that's cool. You keep all the money in family.
Yes, yes, I do.
Wife is a manager.
I do.
You are the talent.
Yeah.
Lebanon is all about finance. Did you know that it has more than 100 different banks? Not just branches, individual banks. What are the biggest differences between Lebanon and the United States?
Ooh, wow, that's a beautiful question. So many. I don't know, when I got here, I was like, kind of almost like lost. Like, okay, everything's big, everything's wide. So many differences. Like, I will tell you a little difference, the liquor store, like, or the grocery store, right? Liquor store. Like, when I got here, I had a connection with a grocery store in my neighborhood. Like I would go when I get ham or turkey or whatever. It's a different connection you have with your store.
You mean like you have personal connection with the seller?
You don't have that.
The
here,
owner of
kinda.
the store. Okay, got it.
So you go to a liquor store. Even the liquor store is very like foreign. Like you don't feel comfortable as an immigrant. I'm saying. I don't know if you felt like that. There's this thing that you go to a liquor store. It's not welcoming. It's not. When you first, get here, everything is just spread out. Everybody's like doing their own thing. There's no really like,
Yeah. I grew up in a small village. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I knew everyone in the stores, everyone actually in the village.
Yeah.
And it's totally different when you have those connections than here. Yeah.
It brings that safety. You feel good. So
Yeah.
like when I got here, I went to Redondo Beach. I was actually happy because I was like alone. I'm just riding my bike, feeling good. But still, the difference, I would say, it's a wide country, like big. And, sometimes you want that small village kind of.
I feel like people make you feel home. That's how many people you know, how many people you're friends with.
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel home.
Yes.
Here, at least for me.
It's true. It's
right?
true. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what.
Good people around you will make you feel home. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you most invited to?
Invited? Mm-hmm. Like as far as my job?
I mean, like events. Are you even invited more to the weddings or more to some corporate, events?
Right now, I do a lot of weddings. Yeah, I do a lot of weddings, a lot of engagement parties, a lot of celebrations. People hire me a lot for celebrations, and
there is a big Armenian community here.
Yeah.
Do they invite you?
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yeah. I work. I actually the hookah lounge that was in Hollywood. It was really happening. It was called Rendezvous. It was owned by Armenian, gentlemen, and they were really nice. And I do a lot of Armenian gigs too. They love the culture and they like the drums. A lot of people, Persians, love the drums.
I want to come back to the immigration, just to help people to understand everything.
Yeah.
So when you moved here, did you have the moment when you thought like, I wanted to live here, I just don't want to be here?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You had it?
Yeah. You feel you don't belong. There's the belonging. You don't feel that you belong here. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't belong anywhere. But then the other thought is you don't belong back home because you left back home. So now that the immigrant struggle is that you're almost like kind of footing, and sometimes you don't feel good, you know, and people, and I'm big on immigrants. I did not publish, but I have a poem book called Immigrant Words.
Oh, really?
I wrote poems for immigrants, and it's like
I
about
wanna
40
see
poems.
them.
Yeah, I didn't publish it yet. I should. That's
You
something
should.
maybe I should do. But I'm very big on immigrants and trying to let American people that are born here or any other country, like native, any other country, to understand how we are and how we feel. It's not easy to be an immigrant. You have to find yourself, you know, in the new country. And that's not always easy because there's always something missing. You know, it's hard. But you can't live with that. Like, you can't actually live with the idea that there's something missing, because if you keep saying that to yourself, you'll never find yourself. So you have to kind of let go of that. There's something missing. And that's why maybe when you have a family, you get to feel home, or if you have kids and a husband and a wife, and you might feel more settled, more comfortable. I don't know. Not to say if you're single you won't. But there is that feeling of like belonging, you know, like I don't know where I belong, you know.
It has been 10 years as you live here, right?
Yes, right? Even, I don't know,
10 years?
2012?
Like
yeah, almost 11 in
almost
December.
11, right?
Yeah.
And do you feel home here?
Wow. That's a beautiful question, man. I don't know what to say. Do I feel home?
If
You know,
not,
I don't-
what
I don't-
are you missing?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm gonna be a little philosophic about this. I don't feel home, and it has nothing to do with the country. I'm becoming very spiritual in my journey, and I'm about healing and stuff. So I feel like it has to do with feeling home within. You have to be comfortable with yourself no matter where you're at. You have to feel that you are home with yourself. Your soul is in your body, and your body is your home. That's how where I'm at today, as what home is. Because even when I was home, I was not feeling home. That's why I left. So is it really home with the country? No, it's you. Are you feeling home within yourself? And if not, that means you have to see how can you feel home, which means you have to be peaceful and happy with yourself.
What can you advise to other people, for those who want to make the career of the drummer or another career? What kind of steps they're supposed to take?
I would say always, if you have something that is a unique ability, right? I read a book called Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. It talks about unique ability, UA. So what is your unique ability? If you're a cameraman, that's all you do and you're good at it, then just do that. You're a host. So find what is that for you and then build on it. Like for me, it was the drum. It was something unique I'm at. I always pushed it away. I never wanted to do it. It's not enough. I don't know what. But I had to face it one day and say, it is enough. That's how I'm living. So I picked it up and I decided to love it more and to make it more a career and a business and grow it and stop like saying, it's just on the side. You don't want to have this attitude is on the side. Nothing should be on the side. Things you do, they should be important for you. So I made it more important in my life. So it's almost a thought. Once I did that, it became more beneficial. I started getting more work. People loved me more. I get a lot of, and now I hire other people. So it's not just me. So now when they call me, I'm not free, I'm not available. I found other drummers that want to work. So now I call them and I hire them and I make a little commission, but then they're working and now I'm expanding and now I have a company. So it all started with me loving my unique skill, whatever that skill is, to love it and grow it. You know?
But you said at the beginning that you had this resistance, that you didn't want to play drums, right? Do you remember the moment when you realized that this is you, that's your uniqueness?
You know, it was always a struggle. There's a moment where I felt I was kind of losing myself. I was never satisfied and keep pursuing another career where I feel always rejected, that people, I'm not really getting what I want. And this is always waiting for me, is always loving me, is always telling me, I got you, this gig, that gig, this money, this teaching, this interview, always giving me things, but I'm like, no, 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 and I'm looking for what's not giving me anything. And that's when you're like, no, I have to put a stop, and I have to hold the people that love me, which is the drum. And I wrote a poem about that. And I always find my drum holding me. More than I do, I hold her back. I don't have it in my head right now, but something about that, I was always ignoring it, or I call her. Ignoring her, yeah. And I had to be like, no, you are giving me a support and a way to live and to spread my word and my peace, and I want to hold you back and, love you, so kind of thing.
So what would be your advice? Just to stop and think what is yours? Because sometimes we want some things that are not ours.
Yeah.
We want something, we think that that's what we're supposed to do, we don't listen to ourselves.
I think it's about loving who you are. I had to love myself enough to be like, I am this drummer, and I gotta accept who I am and stop trying to build another image about who I am. Well, I'm a movie star and I'm an actor and I should be on screen, and because I did that, and obviously, when I went to see myself on a big screen, I was like, wow, yeah, and it's great. But I had to be like, I had to love myself more than what I have a fantasy about or what I want to see myself as. Love actually me more. And when I was loving myself more, it was more about drums. It was what I grew up doing all the time, and it was what I was helping me and being there for me. It was like kind of more turning in and being like, I was always a drummer,
What is your biggest dream?
Ooh, okay. That's an interesting question. I had a dream of, I guess
you're supposed to have something really bigger than you know what I mean?
Yes.
And people never think about it, but when you have something bigger, that's what pushes you.
I want to tell you something. I probably just now, I would want to have my own big concert, and that had just only drums.
There you go. You send it to the universe.
Yes. Yeah, when I was on Coachella and I saw how big the stage is, I was like, okay, I want to just do that with only drums, only me on the drum. And I can see it right now a lot, what that looks like. But I did a play, a theater called A Night on His Drum. And I did have my own little concert. I had 25 people that came to just watch me doing just drums in a little story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But do you remember the feeling when you were standing on this stage?
It was great. It was
do you
so
like
freeing.
it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
It's the best.
Do you think you're ready for these big concerts? Or you need more time, because people sometimes are dreaming and let's say you realize, okay, I'm giving this to you right now. Are you ready? Are you ready to be on this stage with millions of people watching you?
Yeah, I'm be honest, right now I don't feel ready, but I know I kind of have to work on being ready. It is important to find that,
Because I feel like life gives you chances when you're ready for these chances.
Yes.
True. If not, you're not getting.
Yeah, I had to push myself to do the play too. I was scared about it, but I actually booked the theater without having anything. I just booked it.
Look, see?
And then I started, and then luckily my wife back then joined me to edit and direct and everything. So then I got help, kind of to make it happen.
But see, you're going towards your fears.
Yes.
You overcoming your fears.
Yes.
That's very important.
It is.
Otherwise, you would be
the same.
The actor. Sorry, all the actors.
Yeah.
It's not about that.
We're not hating on actors.
I'm an actress as well, so. But it takes a lot of dedication being an actor, and you have to make money somehow, right?
Yeah, right.
And if it's you, that's you, and I can tell you that's you.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing, I can tell that you look so happy, so energetic. That's you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's why people enjoying you, and they inviting you.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself in the future?
Oh, I love that. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I had an image, and this is what I got to my. I felt like I would have. There's a funny story, but there is where I used to live. There is a big, how you say it, a car place, like where they fix cars, a body shop, like a big one. I had a dream one day that this is mine.
That body shop is yours.
It's mine, but it's not a body shop. It's a movie studio, right? That's what the dream was. When I was dreaming, I had that dream about it. But then a couple days ago, because I'm committing more to drums, I had a vision that I own this whole like lot, and it's just I'm making drums. Like I have just a bunch of drums, and I'm like a drum maker. I make a lot of drums, and I sell drums.
That's interesting.
And not just that is part of it. Other part is that I have a store. I teach. I host people. Maybe I practice for concerts, but I have this like a very big name, and not because just a famous whatever, just big in the drums. It's about like how drums could be healing, and it's a whole world of drums, you know. Like
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a sign for you.
It is, I guess.
Do they have a lot of places where they sell darbuka drums
online
here?
A lot. So, but an actual place where you could go buy them, no. There is people that I know, obviously Arabic people, other people, they buy them from the Arab world, or some people buy from Israel or whatever, and they sell them here.
Darbuka was originally played in Egypt, Armenia, and Turkey. Historically, darbukas were made of clay or wood with an animal skin stretched over the head. Such material supposed to create high quality sounds.
This is an Egyptian maker, Bino, and it was a gift by my best friend Marcus. So, and it's, you know, he made it actually handmade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all handmade. So they make the whole shape. I don't know what's the material really. It might be, I don't know, but then they paint it and they do all the designs and they put that like this. You could actually, you know, take it. You know, like it's all handmade.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's handmade. It's cool.
Yeah, and then this one is a very old drum because this is clay, I believe. No, wait a second. It's not clay. This is a goat skin.
Goat skin.
This.
That's the original how they made them,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's how they're. And the bottom is it used to be clay. And clay could break very fast. So I remember these drums, like if they fall, they just break. So luckily they made these, they don't break. This one I bought online, and it's an Egyptian drum. And it's called Jawharat al-Fan, which means the jewelry of art. You know.
Do they sound differently?
They all sound different. This one is not tuned now, so I could, if you want, I could.
Wait, do you tune them?
I do.
How?
This one, the way you tune it is you heat it up. You have to heat it. So you could use a dryer.
Hair dryer?
Hair dryer for a second. That works. But the best option, there's a lamp. You could put a lamp inside of it.
Oh, it's empty.
Yeah, it's empty now, but there's a lamp. You could install a lamp.
Okay.
And just plug it and then have it there to heat up the skin. And then the skin stretches and then it becomes tight. And then you can play it. Because right now it might be loose. It's a little loose. But it could be.
It sounds great to me.
It does sound actually not bad. It doesn't sound bad. But see that sound? Now this, because it's goat skin, this is synthetic, which means plastic synthetic. This one sounds way different.
That's true. That's cool.
So this sounds different. This is a big one. This one It will sound different as well, but similar to this because it's synthetic as well. And it might sound just it's just different. And this one is more a solo kind of. That means like you might have a band where there's a guy playing this bigger drum and this drum, and it's gonna sound just more high pitch.
I don't know why, but I like this one the most.
Okay, I actually like it too because
Yeah?
it's different.
Yeah.
It's old school.
Yeah.
And when you heat it, I don't have the lamp with me today, but it will sound even like more crispy, so it sounds really good. Yeah.
I was watching you and I had this thought, do your fingers hurt when you play the whole night?
You know, I do play the whole night, and they used to, but they don't really hurt because the technique is more using your wrists.
Wrist.
So the fingers won't hurt because the actual power is from your wrists. So I could play all night and I'm fine, but I do put tapes. I tape.
How do they help you?
The tape will just help with the cuts. There's minor cuts that you could have because of this.
Oh, really?
Right here. If you see that kind of like the rim to the skin, when you hit for a long time, you know, your skin get kind of at some point.
Okay, got it.
Like I have calluses, whatever, so they make minor cuts. So, but it doesn't hurt. Like, thank God, I don't know, it doesn't hurt.
What would you advise for the people who want to immigrate or who already immigrated and don't know where to start here as a musician?
Oh, wow. I would say if you're an immigrant musician and you have something unique that you play, right now on top of my head, I would say Instagram is a great way to connect. So post videos about your instrument. I like fusion stuff, so I always wanted to include my instrument with other music versus playing my own culture.
Okay.
The reason why I'm known kinda is because the darbuka that I play, I don't play it on just Arabic music. I do it on a lot of hip hop, techno, EDM music, American, European, and mixing your instrument with other cultures. Like let's say a guy from any country, doesn't matter, with a flute,
Yeah.
I don't know, okay? And if he could play that on like a Dr. Dre song or a Drake,
Okay.
and it sounds cool, well now you're opening yourself up to other cultures, to an American culture there's people like, and you might catch an ear like, okay, that sounds good, I want to see more, and then you start opening up for versus staying in your own culture and just doing your own thing in America. You don't want to do that because otherwise, why you moved here? Like you're trying to expand. You want to make sure you mix your culture with the American culture.
Yeah, but how long did it take you to gain all this audience? Do you remember?
Long time. I mean, my maybe 10 years. Like
10
since
years?
I got here, I've been trying to build and expand and try and.
Do you have any hints for the people who want to become famous and to work for some major studios, maybe what to avoid when they sign the contract?
I see.
You know
I would say I think having representation is important. I don't have it as far as the music, but almost like don't underestimate yourself. I mean, sometimes you wanna, like, they say don't like short sell yourself. Like, know your worth, you know? When people are reaching out to you because you are unique, otherwise they won't reach out to you. So don't like give a low number just because you wanna work with that person. And it's not easy because you might lose that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it is a balance too. It depends where you're at. If you're starting, I would say it's fine sometimes to get your foot in the door. But once you're there and you wanna, you don't wanna go like crazy, set a crazy number, but you wanna go up the stairs. You wanna see your worth. It's important.
Hi, Samira. Hi, welcome. Thank you. Your place looks gorgeous. I love it. I love so much. All the colors. It's so bright, and I don't know, I feel inspired here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Of course, Samira, I can't wait to hear your journey from Venezuela to the United States. What inspired you to move here?
Well, I born in Venezuela, and my parents are Middle Easterns. They're from Palestine, and I went to Palestine when I was 15 years old, and I married in Palestine, and my husband used to live here before we married. So when I married my husband, we traveled, we came to the States, and we started our life in this wonderful country.
So he used to live in the United States. Was he born here? Or
No, he came when he was 4 years old.
okay, and when he came back to Palestine?
He came to marry me.
Oh, just to marry you.
Yes.
Aha.
Yes.
How did you find him?
Well, we are traditional marriage, so that's how it was,
No. Can you tell more?
It's like it's not an arrangement marriage, but it's more traditional. Like he come and he find a good wife for him, and that's how it happened.
Do you remember that moment?
Yes, I did, because I wasn't prepared, because I didn't speak the language. So I learned Arabic here when I came to United States. When I married my husband, it was a little bit hard because we cannot communicate. I only speak Spanish. He don't speak Spanish. I didn't speak English or Arabic, and I have the big journey to learn both language.
That's amazing
Yes.
that you can do it. Can you tell me more? I'm really interested how it happens in Muslim culture. How the whole process? How did you meet him there? Like he had to come to your house. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how it.
We are cousins. We marry cousins over there. So in our tradition, it's our family, they choose who to marry.
Okay.
And in this case, I didn't accept it. I want to choose. So even if it was traditional, I choose. I didn't let my parents choose for me. I choose. So I was looking for somebody very open-minded. They give me the freedom to be who I am, to never try to change me, and to accept anything I decide, because I don't follow rules.
Okay.
So
You're the rebel one.
yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't too easy to find somebody to understand that when I come to the States, I want to be able to do what I want to do, respecting our traditions, respecting that I have a family to take care, but at the same time, I can be who I am and not what they want me to be. And that's exactly what happened. Since I married, he respect my decision. But, I told him, you want to be my husband? You need to let me be.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's, do you want to do it? Good. You don't want to do it? Just not doing it. Yeah, because that's the only way. When he came to ask for my hand, I say, I am not like everybody else. I cannot follow rules. It's not, I won't do what you like me to do, but you need to respect what I want to do.
So when you met your husband, how did you know that he would not limit you?
I asked him before we marry, and I say, I will respect all the traditions, and but I want to be independent. I want to be able to work. And he said, but you don't have to work. I will support you. I say, it's not about the money. It's only I feel, able to do something for myself. I think all women should be prepared for any occasion. If you lose your husband, if something happen, you need to be prepared. You cannot wait for that minute to happen. So I work all my life in sales. Because in Venezuela, my parents own a business. And since I was little, I didn't have the chance to go to school. Only when I was 12, my dad decided the school is you need to learn how to sell.
It's not necessary in Venezuela.
It is necessary. But my father was very old-fashioned and said, woman don't go to school. You learn how to write and read, that's it. And the people in Venezuela came and talked to my dad. So you cannot do that. You cannot take your daughter out of school to work for you. And he said, with the mentality, you know, that he has, oh no, my daughter doesn't have to go to school. She just needs to learn to cook, clean, and to work with her husband. So he decided to take me to the Middle East when he see he can get in trouble.
That's why they moved.
Because I start knowing that I want to do my own way with my dad. It didn't work.
So he wanted to keep you away from all this freedom.
Yes.
And he moved to Palestine. Look at him. He was smart.
Yes.
But it didn't help him, right?
No, because I did what I want anyway. and that's what I try to teach my daughters, the new generation of Muslim women. They respect our culture, respect our tradition, be Muslim, you know, be loyal to our faith, but also be independent, because a lot of women put up with a life they don't want because they don't have no way to make money or to work. In this country, we have opportunities to be what we want to be. And we came to look for the American dream. The American dream is you.
Oh, I love it. I was about to ask you, what is American dream for you?
It's yourself.
Yeah.
You can make it. Here we have freedom that we don't have in Palestine. We don't have in Venezuela right now. So I am from two countries that we don't have freedom. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom of be what you want to be. No in Venezuela, no in Palestine. Muslim woman in Venezuela and Palestine, we restrict. Like you cannot, here in the United States, being here for 40 years, I can say whatever I want. I won't go to jail for that.
See, that's interesting, because I've heard a lot of people saying here, I mean, Americans, that they don't have freedom. And I was thinking at that moment that people, you didn't know what you are talking about, you know, because you didn't live in another countries.
Look, I think it's racist here. To now, the Black community, the Muslim community, we face racism. You have to be honest to see it's not the United States the problem. It's the people that will let us feel under a normal. We pay taxes, we work like everybody else. Why can't I be treated like everybody else? I've been here 40 years. I live here more than any place. But I came like everybody else with no documents, maybe. In that time, I came with a visa, and I stay with no documents for a couple years. Do my husband do me, legal papers? So I encourage everybody, when you come here, do everything right. Be prepared, speak English, and try to have everything under the law. So when you want to face somebody saying, go to your country, say, this is my country now, because I'm here working like you. I'm here giving opportunities, jobs to others. I'm here trying to do a better life that don't affect you, because you can do it too. I am not competing with nobody. I'm competing with myself to be better every day. That is the American dream. The American dream is not come to the United States and everything, it will be free. People come here expecting American dream to be easy. American dream is work hard to reach your dreams. It's not only you come to the United States, or you are so blessed. You're not blessed if you're home sleeping.
You have a chance to live better.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you're blessed, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What happened next? When you came, your husband, he had job here, right?
Yes.
You didn't have to work.
No.
So
I start having kids.
how many?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids.
Yes.
And you didn't work. Well,
I used to take my two boys to how I started in the swap meet. The swap meet, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a place. It's a place where we go and set up a table and sell. And because I speak Spanish, I was very successful. My husband is Arabic, so he don't speak Spanish. When he used to take me, the others Arabs around us don't like it because I do better because I speak Spanish.
oh.
I took my two boys, Abdul and Hussein, to the swap meet. And then I started knowing that I wanted to grow my business alone, separate of my husband. He owned a liquor store.
Oh,
So,
a good business.
yes, he's a very successful owner of a liquor store for many years. And being there is not right for a Muslim woman. And still, I go to help. When he needs me, I go. When he want me to be there, I go. But it's not a place that I like to go. I like to sell things for ladies like purses, jewelry, clothing. And that's why the name Samira's War Boutique, because I bring from Mexico, Turkey, Jordan, Palestine. So I want any woman come to my shop and be able to find something like, like I have normal clothes like you, and I have this special made from Oaxaca, Mexico.
Really?
And I be able to go there and to find the people they made my product. So I have a connection with each person that I buy something from.
That's amazing. Can I ask you, why are you doing this? Do you see some legacy in this?
Yes, because this type of work, not many people know how long it will take to make it. And I like to sell things different than everybody else. I want people to value what is handmade and what it take a month, 1 month to make something like this. And I don't want to be the boutique like all the boutiques. I like to, even is a challenger, to let people believe that what I have is high-end quality. They prefer brand names. And to me, brand name is only a name. It's the quality what it counts. And the legacy is to live to others do what I do, to give the opportunity to those people in their countries. They cannot come to the United States. We can send money over there so they can do a work, send us to sell it, but they don't need to come here when they don't have to. They can have their dream in their country if we provide works for them to do it there.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you give them opportunity to do what they like to do and make money on it, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. What does your day look like as a owner of a boutique? Can you tell us about your schedule so people would realize?
I like to come here by appointment because everything changed now, and this is not a traffic area. This is like an office more than a boutique. Everything look like a boutique, but most of my customers come by appointment, so that makes it very VIP, exclusive. I give them a coffee. I have dessert. They come and they receive a special treatment because when they come with a group of friends, I make sure I have wine, coffee, snacks. They will have the opportunity to a person help them. So my hours are different, depends of the schedule of my customers more than my schedule, because if they want to come 10 o'clock at night, I will come 10 o'clock at night. I'm very open to their schedule. If they want to come any weekends when I close, I open. So to me, my success in my business is the good customer service.
That's amazing. But you can't make a lot of sales like that. How do you promote?
Sell more online. Online. I do sell online. I think social media is what it make us be everywhere,
Mhm.
like Facebook, Instagram, and special TikTok. That I am not too good in TikTok. I'm still on Facebook. I need to reach and get to TikTok shoppers because I think that's what is number one right now. And if we sell online, we have freedom of be anywhere you want. You have time to spend with your family. We travel, especially like me. I got a big family, 4 kids, 5 grandkids. I have a husband. So I don't like to be from 8 to 5 in one place. I want to be able to be with my family. So I think the best thing to work is to have online business.
But online business requires work too. Do you have helpers? Do you have
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have a team. I have a team. They working in my website because my website no traffic. So I have somebody working and making it better. And I have a team. They come and take photos, and I'm looking for a way to get to reach more customers. I need to find the right customers, and sometimes the right customers they're not in Phoenix.
Who is your customer?
Right now, I'm looking for people that like high-end merchandise because the Hispanic community, especially Mexican,
Mhm.
they buy the traditional dresses when it's Mexican Independence Day, or it's like today is a special day for them, November 20. But American, they love it all year round. American customers, they admire anything handmade.
Yeah.
And I do have Middle East customers. They buy the traditional Jordanian, Palestinian dresses. So I have all kind of customers.
Yeah. What day is today? You said it's special day for Mexico.
It's the revolution anniversary for Mexico. Yes.
How do they celebrate this?
They celebrate it in Mexico like it's like independent, but they celebrate it with the president. But here, September 16 is when I sell the most because Mexican they dress very traditional. So I'm one of the kind boutique in Phoenix because it's not too many. They carry Mexican dresses like I do.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I didn't know that Americans, I kind of like a lot this style. No, I know that they love handmade stuff.
Yes.
I didn't know they like Mexican stuff.
I went to Oaxaca. This is from Oaxaca. It's one of the places in Mexico where they have the most art clothing. And let me tell you, what I see over there is all Americans, all Canadians, all Europeans, and they were buying so much. So that's the customer I need to find because they really appreciate handmade products. Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Question for you about immigration. Even when you moved, you came with your husband. Was it hard for you to adjust here in the United States?
The hard part, it was the language.
Mm-hmm.
Is learn English, and learn Arabic also. The harder part is to fit in because I see a lot of communities they don't accept us. They think we came here to take their jobs. We came here to like we're not taking nobody's place. I think United States is great and it's place for anyone. I never use the government money for nothing. Never take food stamps or access or nothing. I understand when people they require that when they start, but I never did. So I own United States the freedom to be here. But if I have something, it's because I work. I work very hard to have it. So I keep saying, that the American dream doesn't come alone. It comes with a lot of work. So I adjust to the life here it was hard because I have to deal with a lot of discrimination.
Mm. Do you remember? Can you tell us specific story about it?
Yeah, I used to have a shop here in Phoenix, and twice they didn't renew the lease, and they give the opportunity to a American girl, and she felt the same like me, and I asked them why me. I respect rules. I pay my rent. Why you not renewing my lease? And they said we don't want both of you in here. And I said why it have to be me? Why not her? And they told me we don't have to explain nothing to you. So I get it. You know, they would give the opportunity to people born here more than anybody came from another country. I see it in many places, races, especially when they know I'm Palestinian Muslim. Now, more than any time with what's going on in the Middle East, I face a lot of discrimination. And that's one of the reasons sometimes I don't cover because I'm Muslim, because we have a lot of haters. The war it bring a lot of people. They don't want us here.
Yeah. How immigration affected your relationship with your husband, and did it affect it at all in your family? You have different rules, you know. In America, you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want that you cannot do back in Palestine.
Well, I always say it, no matter where I was, Venezuela, Palestine, that I always speak my mind. That was a big problem because, you know, I never follow rules. And everybody know around me, my parents have, my dad, 10 girls. And
10
he,
girls?
yes,
And you were
six.
the sixth.
Was me the sixth one. He married my mom's second wife to find a boy, thinking that, you know, the first one, only 4 girls, let me marry somebody else, maybe she can have boys. So my mom have 10 kids and was number 6 girl of my father. I worked so hard to let him believe that we are equal. It's not different between a guy, a boy, and a girl. And for my father, it was. A boy value more than a girl. And I worked so hard to prove him before he died. And I told him, and I faced it, Dad, you look so much for a boy. But us, a woman, we can be kind to you. A daughter will be closer to the parents always. And I think that's one of the reasons I was speaking my mind, because I see how they separate boys with girls, and we are like less than the boy, and that's something I didn't accept.
What about your kids? Are they more Muslim or they more like Americans?
Yes, I let them be.
You let them-
My son Abdul married Mexican. My daughter Fatima married Russian, and we broke the rules.
You have an international family now. I think that's awesome, right?
Yes, it is.
Different cultures in your family. I believe it helps you to respect different people too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think we should be closer. Anybody came from another country like Ukraine or Russian or any country, we should be like this too. We can face the new life we have here.
Yeah, because everyone who comes here, she is looking for a better life.
Yes, and we should be respected. We won't allow nobody to let us feel like we are intruders or we are here taking something don't belong to us. It belongs to us because we work for it.
Yeah. Do you think life of immigrants right now is harder or easier than it was before?
It's harder. That is because the new laws, I don't want to talk about politics, but they are deporting many people. They been here many years with no documents, and that's kind of hard for them because they have kids born here. So when you want to separate families, it's hard. It's people they couldn't do documents legal, but their kids born here. And now they have to go. They have to leave. So their separated lives, family is devastated.
What would you change in the immigration policy?
I think we should leave the parents of the kids born here and the new laws, they're not doing that. I think you cannot separate kids from their parents. If they born here, they're Americans. And being here, born here, you cannot send the parents where they came. Give them a chance to be legal. Change the immigration law so they can do documents and become American citizens, because they already have kids here. How you want to separate kids from their parents? That's hard.
Why did you choose Arizona to live?
I didn't choose.
Didn't.
No, my husband was living here before he married me.
Did you suggest to go to another state?
I think Arizona have a lot of future, a lot of opportunities. Our prices here are great. Houses are better than most of the, a lot of places. So I think Arizona is a place to come and live.
What about the temperature in the summer?
The temperature is hot, very hot. It's one of the hottest state of our United States. But I got used to, I deal with it, and I prefer hot than cold.
Is it for how many? For 3 months?
Yes.
For 3 months, and then it's...
My sister lives in Minnesota, and I don't think I can live in the winter like that.
Is that where I live 35 years?
So it's too cold for me. I don't want to live in a place with snow 10 months of the year.
How do you see your life maybe in 10, 20 years?
Well, I see my life with many boutiques in different locations. That's what I'm looking, locations that I can bring my items, and like gift shops. So far, I have 4. I'm looking for restaurants in California, any place in the United States. They want me to go and open a boutique inside, like where? Restaurants, hair salons, spas. I want to keep doing it, but not me. I want to put my items in other places. They work and they get commission. That's how I see myself.
What are you trying to do with this? What's your point of doing this?
I want to travel. I want to travel the world. But I want to keep doing business, not doing me. Others doing it for me. But I don't want them to work for me. I want them to work for themselves. So how that will happen? If I go and pull my items, they're beautiful, and I be able to bring it to them, they don't have to invest from their pocket. They only make commission with my items, and they keep moving it. They send me my money, and I go every week, every 2 weeks, and give them inventory, and I start working with not me working, because I'm not getting any younger. I'm almost 60, and I want to travel the world.
What is your biggest dream? The biggest one that you can't almost reach?
What can I almost reach? I think I reach all my dreams.
I believe you need a new one.
Yeah.
No?
I travel the world. I have my kids, my grandkids, and I really don't have no dreams I didn't make true. Yeah.
I want to ask you, how much does it take to open the boutique, to open your own business?
I've been here almost 20 years in different locations. I was, like I said, a very successful place where I used to make a lot of money, but they don't want me there. They don't want to renew. Twice they told me, we don't want you here. It's straight out. We don't want you here. And I said, okay, I guess I'm leaving. So I came here to Tlaquepaque, Peoria, Arizona, and I decided I have to do a lot of publicity. I have to do a lot of lives in my podcast so people know where I'm located. Now I think I reach a lot of views. People watch me. I do a lot of Facebook Live. And what I try to do in my podcast, telling all the ladies they couldn't go to school, they don't have the opportunity to have a career, to have education. Like I didn't have no even high school diploma because my dad didn't allow me to go to school. But that didn't stop me. I want to be a businesswoman. I know how to sell, so I become my own boss. And I think that's a good career.
Is it hard to open your own business?
It's not hard if you want to, because it's a lot of opportunities like me that I have merchandise and I offer the ladies they want to open their own business. I help you. Come, I share what I have with you, but I cannot do the job for them. I can give you to sell, but I cannot sell for you. So when I'm looking for places and I'm looking for ladies to become my ambassador, they need to do their job, not me.
You're doing your podcast, right?
Yes.
What is the name of your podcast?
Enfócate. It means focus.
Focus.
Enfócate in Spanish. It means, I do it in Spanish. So it's focus and you can reach your dreams. Because if you open a business and you're not focused on it, you lose business.
Yeah, that's true. But it's only in Spanish.
I want to start doing it in English, so I wasn't too secure if my English is good enough, but I think people can understand me, yeah.
You're an immigrant. You have the whole right to make mistakes. I'm making mistakes. People are making mistakes. That's not our language.
Yeah.
And I feel we don't have to be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
We speak our own language. I speak 2 more languages, and we don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, like Sofia Vergara, she's an actress from Colombia. She speaks horrible, and she's very famous, and she makes a lot of money.
That's good.
And Salma Hayek, she's from Mexico. Her dad is from Lebanon. She have an accent, so I think I'm more confident now to speak English in public like this in our podcast. So I want to start doing my podcast in English also.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. You can attract more listeners.
Yeah, as well, yeah.
So why are you doing it?
I'm doing the podcast because I want to give to the other ladies the opportunity to learn from my experience how to do businesses. A lot of podcasts is about how to heal, how to forgive. And to me, I think everything has to do with how you feel with yourself. If you are good with yourself, if you love yourself, you can do other things. You can forgive, you don't have anxiety. Depression comes for when you're not happy with who you are. I think all the foundation of depression, it has to do with if you're happy and you love yourself, everything is easy.
It's the hardest part to love yourself.
Yes.
To be happy.
Welcome, Daniel. Nice to meet you too. Everyone has its own story of immigration. What is yours?
So I was born and raised in Russia, and I lived there for like 30 years of my life altogether. 14 years in Uzbekistan and then 16 years in Russia. But I'm a Korean descendant, as you can see. So my very first time when I came to the United States of America was like in 2009. I came here to study. For a couple months, I was just kind of taking a course how to improve my teaching skills. And I went to Utah and I stayed there for a couple months. And for me, honestly, that time, America kind of didn't take a part of my heart. I didn't really enjoy staying here. So then I came back to Russia and I got an opportunity to go and teach to South Korea for 2 years. So and then I came back to Russia again and I lived there. I was working. I had my small business there. A lot of my friends actually immigrated to the States, and they were always like asking me, inviting me. And early in 2015 or 14, I started thinking about it to immigrate to either to Korea or America. So I had 2 options. So in early 2016, when there was kind of an economical crisis occurred in Russia, and I just decided that probably it's time to move forward and start my new page of life and just move on, So I sold out all the businesses and paid off all of my, credits and stuff. And yeah, I just went to the embassy and I thought, well, if they will give me a visa, I guess this is a sign that I need to go and check it out. It was so hard to get a visa because I am a citizen of Uzbekistan actually, and I couldn't obtain a visa in Russia, so I had to go back home. And it's a long story, but make it short. There are two countries in the world, like Uzbekistan and North Korea, which are not allowed their citizens to go anywhere without their permission. So in order for me to obtain any type of visa, I had to go to government department, 9 different departments, to get a stamp saying you're allowed to leave the country for 2 years.
Wow.
And then you have to come back and get the visa again.
I would expect it from North Korea, but not from Uzbekistan.
Well, Uzbekistan is kind of a country like very, very unique. So I had only $100 in my pocket.
Wait, you just told us you sold everything.
Yes.
Where are your money?
I sold out all the businesses and paid off the credits
all
and
the
debts. All the debts for my business and everything. So I just wanted to leave Russia having no debt in my pocket. So at that time, I did not have any idea what I would do here.
Since that time, did you regret that you left Russia?
I've been living in America for 5 years, and so far, I don't regret. When I first came to America, even though I didn't have kind of stability or kind of, perspective or the vision of my future here, I felt good. And this is what I like about Los Angeles. You know, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe in, no matter what, your religion, sexuality, whatever it is, people are welcome here and they accept it, and you kind of become a part of this family. And I really love this diversity, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought and I felt personally that I fit this community, you know, real well.
What was the first job you got here?
In America?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. The very first job I did, actually, was in Utah. And it was a job for my friends. My friends were just offering some help. They paid for my stay, for my clothes, for food, everything. And I felt kind of not good about it because, you know, when I moved to America, I was 33 years old. If I was 18, I would say, yeah, sure, take care of me. I love it. You know, I was, yeah. But when you're 33, you don't want to feel like you're a moocher, you know, or like, or burden for my friends. So, and at that time it was kind of snowy, and I said, well, I would like to help you somehow, just tell me what I can do. And the family who I lived with, they were kind of 6 years old, and they said, okay, well, my husband needs to take out the snow from the roof. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. So I just was helping them with all the kind of home and stuff. So my very first job, I was just shuffling the snow from the roof, you know. I think every type of job or work can teach you something, you know. The second job I got, it was very funny story. You want me to tell you?
Sure, of course.
We were, since I'm Korean, I really love Korean barbecue. Do you like Korean barbecue?
Yes, I do.
I know, everybody loves it. So we went to a Korean barbecue place, and with all my friends, we were celebrating some kind of party and stuff, like a birthday or something of my friend, and the service was so bad. But you know, in California, if you have a party of 6 or more, they're charging you 20% or 80% service charge. So when we got the bill, I'm like, wow, service charge is included, but the service was so bad. So I just asked manager, like, can I talk to the manager because about the situation? And back to Russia, I worked in restaurants, you know, as a part-time job. Because
so you knew what to say.
I knew what to say. I know how it's
helps.
Supposed to be running. And at that time, they did not have a manager, but one guy came up to me and he's like, yeah, you ask for manager, I'm here to help you. So I told him everything what happened and asked him just, you know, waive it because the service wasn't provided. He took it, he just was listening to me carefully. He was Korean, so I spoke Korean to him.
Oh, you spoke Korean? Okay.
Yeah, and bowed to him how it's supposed to be because he's older than me. And after party, he just gave me his business card. He said, actually, if you're looking for a job, call me tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, like job. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just called him the other day, and he said, well, actually, I wasn't a manager. Manager was fired, and I'm actually the headquarter representative of our chain.
Wow.
And I'm offering you a position as a general manager of this restaurant.
Just got it right time, right? Even
I'm like,
complaining
what?
helped you.
Yeah, sure. He's like, bring all your documentations, and we're gonna have another final interview with you, and you can start working.
So when you came here, you had a visitor visa, right?
It's called tourist visa, B1, B2. Yeah, and
Tourist
only
visa.
for 1 year. Because Uzbekistan gives a visa only for 1 year.
How did you transfer it? How
How I changed my status? you
Yes,
mean?
how you change your status? Yeah.
I was thinking about it because there's so many different ways how to do it legally here. Either marriage or get a student visa, or like there are a lot of different opportunities. I was thinking about it. Like to become a student, it wasn't my way because I was already a teacher. I went through this school, even though I had a sponsor and friends were willing to pay for my school here. I said no, I don't want to waste time and money because I was 33, and I said, well, no, it's too late. It's never late to learn things. Don't get me wrong, but to go to school and become a teacher, I mean a student, sorry, it's kind of not my way. Marriage, I wasn't ready to get married. I didn't want to deal with fake people, fake marriages, no. So one of my friends, he worked for the government in Utah. He's actually, a secretary of the governor. And we're friends. And he just mentioned there's a kind of a program, a refugee program. I'm like, what kind of refugee program? He's like, well, there is two types of refugees and asylum. I'm like, I'm not familiar with that. So he just sent me to his friend who is a lawyer. And he actually has an office here in California. And this was the reason why actually I moved to California, because I went to meet with a lawyer and he told me, yeah, there is a way how you can just change your status. You can apply and seek for asylum. And I'm like, okay, cool. So in early 2017, I just filed my case and I'm still waiting for the interview.
Oh, you're still waiting. Do you know the difference between these
Yes,
asylum
yes,
and refugee?
Yes, let me explain to you. If you want to obtain the refugee status, you have to apply from your country. You go to the embassy, fill out the forms, get interviewed, and then if you get qualified and you obtain that status, and then American government is just buy you tickets, take care of you, and you get a status. And when you come here, you get all the paperwork ready to go. This asylum, it's a very, I would say, unique way how to become a resident of the United States. As a tourist or student, no matter what, you have 1 year. Within the 1 year, you need to apply.
Okay.
If you stay more than 1 year, most likely you won't be qualified to get the asylum. So, and there are a lot of qualifications. There are a lot of exceptions. There are a lot of kind of regulations, especially when Mr. Trump became a president. He has made a lot of changes. But if you are persecuted due to religion, economical aspects, racism, nationality, and all that stuff. In my case, it was easier because I actually qualified for all of them. I'm gonna tell you why. So, in Uzbekistan, as I told you earlier, it's a Muslim country, so I could not practice my religion. My Mormon religion is not allowed. My Mormon religion is not allowed in Uzbekistan, so I couldn't practicing any religion there. In Russia, there are a lot of churches, a lot of things, and it's kind of democratic country, so let's put it this way. But still, there are a lot of issues with foreigners. For Russian people, I'm not Russian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't look Russian.
I don't look
yes.
Russian, and for them, I'm like Chinese. They don't like Chinese people. I don't know why, but a lot of Russian people, they hate Chinese people. Chinese or Asians. Let's put it as Asians. Yeah,
know
and there are a lot of some kind of small group of people who are kind of haters. Like, have you ever heard about skinheads?
Yes, I heard about
I got beaten up by skinheads once in Russia, and yeah, it was a bad experience. But yeah, young people, age of like 18 to 20, they were just trying to find Asian people or someone who doesn't look Russian, and they just beat them up. And unfortunately, I got beaten up. And yeah, this is kind of thing what kind of make me start thinking about immigrate from Russia.
My question is, did you need to bring any proofs?
Yeah, of course. I do have some proofs. I do have pictures. I do have documents from hospital, from police.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, I went to police right away. I told them, well, there's a group of people trying to kill me. And the thing is, even though they found those people, they couldn't do anything because they were under the age of. So they said, well, they're like high school kids, you know, just running around with like a lot of weapons and just trying to beat you up. Yeah, I have some, and yeah, and so my declaration or my story declares that I'm a member of the Mormon Church, and I'm not able to practice my religion back to my country. In Russia, I'm not a Russian citizen, so it was hard for me to get a job, and I couldn't live there like freely because I was always afraid that I can beat it up or my family or something, you know.
Did they ask about your family?
Who?
The embassy. What about your family, your mom and dad?
Yeah, they asked me about my family. My mom lives in Korea. My father lives in Uzbekistan. They got divorced.
Okay.
So yeah, they asked me about it. In the embassy was kind of, he asked the same questions they ask everybody, like what's your purpose of visiting United States, who's paying for it, how long you're gonna stay there, and all those questions. And I answered all those questions, but he was surprised because, you know, even though I had that passport and that visa which allowed me to leave Uzbekistan, but at that time I did not live there permanently, you know, I lived in Russia. So he asked me, like, you came to Uzbekistan to see your relatives, and you're asking a visa to go to the States. So, you know, having no property, having no pets, kids, family, nothing, like empty passport. And he's like, so give me a reason. He asked me, give me a reason why you want to go to America and coming back. And I told him, I'm a Mormon. I would like to see my friends in Utah, to see all the church, see sites, and kind of, you know, go to the conference, and then to attend the wedding of my friend. So my friend actually sent a letter saying, this is the invitation. I invite Daniel for my wedding. I'll pay for it. I'll cover all expenses, all of that. So he just said, okay, only because you're a Mormon, I'll get you, your visa got approved.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise,
It's one more idea how to get to the United States.
yes, but become a member of the church first.
Do you know how long will it take you to get visa? It has been delayed because of the president or because of the COVID? What do you think?
You're asking about my
your status
my
change,
status here. Yeah, you know, recently there were a lot of changes taking place. So these days they help people who come to the States now. So people who have applied earlier, they got stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So these days, the first people come to America, they get interviewed and get provided all the documentations first. And this is the way how it is these days.
I have a question.
Sure.
How much did you pay to the lawyer to process all this documentation? How much would it cost to the people if they apply for this asylum status?
Here's the thing. First, well, answering your question, and then I will give you an advice, okay? I paid about $5,000, but since the lawyer was a Mormon, he gave me a discount, 50%, so I paid $2,500 personally, yeah. But I'm gonna give you an advice. At that time, I wasn't familiar with all the immigration process and all that stuff. You need a lawyer only when you made a mistake or did something, and the lawyer can help you, when you're in the court. With asylum, you don't have to have a lawyer. You don't have to. It's just wasting money, I would say. And I will tell you, I'm going to tell you why. There are a lot of people who can help you to fill out the forms, check your declaration, and kind of giving you support and prepare you for the interview. And they call them paralegal. So they're kind of lawyers, but at the same time they're just helping you to fill out the forms. And it's twice cheaper. I would say about $3,000 approximately here in LA these days. And that's all you need. You just need to have someone who are professional and efficient with paperwork and apply it. I had a chance to go to the interview actually. I was working as an interpreter, like translator, for some of my Russian friends. And they hired me to be their interpreter, and I thought, well, it's a good idea. I can just go there and see how it goes, prepare myself for this interview. So I had 5 or 6 times when I went to actually immigration office, and I was helping my friends to obtain the asylum status. And when they went with a lawyer there, lawyers actually don't participate in those interviews. They're just sitting and saying yes.
Confirming everything.
This is true.
Right?
This is true. And this is what you're paying for. It's not worth it, honestly.
Where do people can find this information? Is it uscis.gov?
Yeah,
This website?
everything's available online. You can go there and check it out, what the requirements are, what kind of documentations you need to provide. But these days, you have to submit your case and file it all together. In the past, you could just apply online and bring all the documentations later. These days, you have to bring it all together in one pile because they can call you anytime, like very soon. I've been waiting for 4.5 years, but some of my friends, my actual roommates, they came like in 2019 or in 2020, and they already got the status, and they're already in the process of applying for green cards. So yeah. You
keep mentioning that you have friends who are paying for you, wanted to pay for your college and for everything. Where did you find those friends? Maybe should I look for somebody like that?
Do you want me to give you some referrals?
Of course, why not? So the friends helped me with the documentation, with everything. So
I would say that these days, particularly, it's really important to have a networking, connections, and friends. It's the most helpful tool, no matter where you live. Like in Russia, in America, Utah, wherever you live, if you have networking, connections, friends, you can just easily, kind of survive.
But for some people, it's so hard to find those friends. What would you recommend?
I would recommend to not to be shy. There is a kind of a Bible principle: ask and shall be given, knock and shall be opened. If you don't knock the door, nobody is going to open it to you. Or if you never ask, well, you will not get the answer. So asking, searching, just helps a lot to find out what all about. If you're interested about immigration, you just look it up, trying to see some forums or trying to find people who already gone through it, so they can give you some kind of advice. In my case, it was easier because, some of my friends already immigrated at the time, so they showed me the way where to go, who to ask, and how much it's gonna cost approximately, and all that stuff. And these days, I actually have a part-time job at the Express Document Solution. One of my friends, she's the owner of that place, and this is the place where they help people to kind of, immigrate, and they're helping with all the applications, with asylum, with marriage, with student visa, with passport, everything.
I have a feeling whenever you go, you have friends everywhere.
That's true.
We just need to follow him, I believe so.
Please do. Please do. We can become friends. I will share my contact information with all my friends.
See? Communication, guys.
Yes.
If you don't know where to start here in the United States, there are a lot of consulting groups that help people to rent an apartment, to buy a car, or find a job. I want to come back to your second job. So you did you start to work as a manager at a restaurant?
Yes.
And for how long did you work as a manager?
I was working there for a year.
For a year?
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
Well, I was starting earning some money, and I just wanted to invest some money and make money work and make more money, you know. And I've been thinking about it. Where could I invest money? I didn't have that much, but I thought, well, there are a lot of tourists in LA all the time, and they're always asking for place to stay, car, and a job, right?
Yeah.
So, and when I met my friend Nargiza, who is the owner of Express Document Solutions, she just told me, well, you can bring your friends and you can help me to work with them. And I started working for her, and we just help people to apply for, you know, different type of visas or asylum. And then all the people who came to the office, they were asking about cars, about place to stay. I'm like, okay, fine. So I guess I can invest some money, buy some cars, and rent them out. And I bought 2 cars and started renting them out. And I was using a Turo platform, which kind of, it's an app, helps you to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an app which helps you to find a car, and you rent it from the actually owner. It's not like a big corporation like Enterprise or Hertz or whatever. It's just an app.
Let's say I can give my car, people can rent it out?
Yes, and you can make some money. It's kind of passive income. And they provide you insurance and everything, so it's very good way how to make some money. Yeah, I just was renting out my cars, and then I was getting more money, bought more cars, you know. And 1 year later, I just didn't have enough time to work for the restaurant because I had a lot of clients coming into the office and with renting cars, like apartments, all that stuff. So I quit my job. And I started working at the Express Document Solution.
And you're still working there?
I'm still working there as a contractor. So whenever they need me, they hire me and I do my job there. In the meantime, I do some other things.
What are the other things? It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. The other things, you know, I figured out that California is a great place just to use all your skills, your talents, skills, and so forth. I love singing. Well, all the Asians love to sing, actually. I love singing.
Who told you? No.
No?
I love to, but it's horrible.
So yeah, I love singing, I love dancing, and back in Russia, sometimes I was hosting some kind of weddings or events. So I started doing this here. Like, yeah, I just found a place where they actually hosting some kind of Russian events, and we're singing, dancing there, and people just saw me and they hired me to be their host for their weddings, birthdays, kind of events. So, and yeah, I was host. I'm a host.
You're a host.
Yeah, I'm a host, and sometimes I sing. Sometimes I have friends who are helping me with this kind of thing. So when we have a wedding or birthday, I have a crew who can sing, dance, like DJing, like a lot of different things. So yeah, and I work as a host here, like for Russian events.
I told you he's so talented. And I feel like no matter I ask you, you have an answer to everything.
Some of my friends are calling me a walking encyclopedia.
If you need some information, you can
call
contact,
me.
Call you.
Yeah, call me. Maybe. So yeah, I started this kind of things. I'm not a professional singer. I'm not a professional host, but you know, I just love to make people happy, to celebrate their events, and I don't have any, like, you know, advertising or anything like that. Like, people see me, they hear me, and it just spread out the word, you know, and that's how I became kind of well known here among the Russian community in Los Angeles. And they know that I have cars. I do have like networking with Express Document Solutions. So whenever they have new people coming to LA, they call me, and I just send them. Well, you can go to do this here. You can go to DMV. You can just do this and that. There's some kind of things that everybody go through. When you first when they first come to America.
I feel bad I didn't know you when I moved here.
Now we know
would be
each
very
other.
helpful.
Oh yeah.
And question,
Sure.
did you have something that surprised you a lot when you first came here?
Well, I'm a multicultural person, so the only thing that kind of shocked me when I first came to America, it was food.
Good, bad?
Different.
Different.
Different. Everybody has his own taste, so I cannot say it's better or worse. It's just different. And in Russia, we prefer to use like a lot of natural products, like organic, mostly. Here, there are a lot of junk food, like not good food. So
not like American food here. I believe it's like multicultural.
What is American food? Let's be honest.
Hamburgers?
What else?
I don't know. We have to ask.
Pizza, hamburgers. What else in America? Like American food. Nothing.
McDonald's, right? That's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to
actually.
stay. I don't eat fast food, so for me, American food wasn't an option. So that's why, and I'm really picky. Since I used to work in the restaurants, I'm really picky with food. So I was actually cooking for myself the first time. When I first came to America, I was cooking to myself mostly, and I didn't have enough, money to go eat out a lot, so it's kind of expensive. For me, it was kind of this thing, and also the other thing is cultural aspect of life here in America.
What do you mean?
When I ask, well, let me explain to you. I do have a lot of American friends, and when I ask them, when we're talking about culture, about some kind of things, for Americans, culture means like some kind of traditions. They do have traditions. They do some kind of holidays. They're trying to spend time with family and all that stuff. For us, Russian people or people from Europe, it's a little bit different. Culture means that you spend some time to do some kind of cultural activities, such as going to the theater, watching the opera, ballet, like to have some kind of manners, to like all these aspects. Here is a little bit different. So it's not worse or better, it's just different, don't get me wrong. And yeah, it's just this aspect of life. And the other thing is relationship between people. In America, it's different too. Like
it is.
I agree. Right? What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's just different environment, and I'm not saying that they have to follow our culture. We come to America and we immigrate here, so we have to follow their culture and kind of accept their principles, their lifestyle, but at the same time to be who you are. So this is what I love about America. No matter where you're coming from, it's totally up to you. Either you accept the culture and traditions and the lifestyle here, or you deny it and you just become kind of an outsider and you kind of live your own life. There are a lot of people here in America, I've noticed that they're kind of depressed, or they're
You mean
just
people who immigrated, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're just facing this kind of situation when they kind of don't really fit this environment. We have a phrase in Russian. I don't know how to translate it into English like correctly. I would say you feel like a fish from a different aquarium.
Oh, okay, yes.
Do
you think it's a problem because people don't speak? When they immigrate, a lot of people don't speak and they kind of feel locked in their own community. They speak only to the people from the same country. They don't participate, they don't interact with other people, and I feel like they feel trapped. That is why.
Yes and no. Why, yes. Of course, when you speak English, you can freely communicate and explain what you want, right? And no, because you're in California. Like, there's so many languages here available. If you go to any government department, such as DMV or any other places, interpreter is provided for free. Any language. Like, for example, if you want to take a the written test at the DMV, it's available in Russian.
Yeah, it is.
When you go to any other places, if you don't speak like English, they can call and say, okay, I need a Russian interpreter, and they will provide it to you. It's easier here in California for those who don't speak English that well. But the other thing is, if you are moving to America, you should be aware of that. You need to learn at least some phrases, how to find the restroom, how to order hamburger, or how to,
Yes, totally.
survive here. And there are a lot of actually schools here in the States who offer you free English programs here. It's a very,
There is a lot of support here.
yeah, it's a lot of support, and if you have a desire, you find opportunities.
Yeah.
If you don't have desire, you're finding excuses. This is another phrase.
Yeah.
So if you move to another country, you have to be ready to change your life and learn new things, or use all your skills in order to be able to provide yourself.
Remember this.
That's
Such a good advice.
Yeah, it's good advice. I think everybody has a different talents. Everybody has a different gifts from God, and you just need to open up and don't be lazy. Just if you're lazy, doesn't matter where you go to, you just will be complaining about life, about everything and everybody. But if you're not lazy and you're willing to change your life to a better, I think you just need to move on, kick your butt from the bed and just do something.
What would you advise to the people who want to immigrate, who will be watching you and watching other people and saying like, oh my God, they have such a wonderful life and we want to have the same? What should they bring with them, or what should they do?
The first advice I would say, when you watch Hollywood movies, which shows you how beautiful life is here, it's not true. It's not true. Before you move to America, I would say that you need to see what are you gonna do here. Like, how are you gonna establish or get settled here? This is the first thing. The second thing is earn enough money to, provide yourself with food, place to stay for first months or so while you're looking for a job or something like that.
What do you think? How much do they need to have?
It depends how much they spend on food.
What about the housing?
Housing, it's expensive in California, but you can find cheap places here. Actually, if you are, searching around, there are a lot of communities or places where you can actually get a not really expensive apartment. And some places actually, as you know, they're required to have Social Security and all of that stuff. But there's some places where they don't require it. You just have to put more deposit and you're good to go right away.
Find good friends.
Yes, or find good friends who can help you out. Talking about food, there are a lot of opportunities here. When I first came to California, I found some food banks in some kind of places where they were willing to just give away food. And that food was good. It wasn't like something like bad.
Yeah.
It was good food, and I saved a lot of money for that. Food banks are open for everybody, no matter of your status or who you are, homeless or not homeless. They offer food for free, and it's available. And there are a lot of opportunities here in Los Angeles, particularly in California, Los Angeles, California, where you can just immigrate. And when you first come here, you can just survive. There are a lot of opportunities for programs.
All of us, we have our ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the time when you felt down, when you felt bad, really bad?
Of course, when I was just taking care of the snow in the roof of my friends, And when it was so cold, I was like, what am I doing here? I moved to America just to work for my friends. Or, when I just had a really heavy things to move around, when it was like 90 degrees outside and you just moving the furniture around. Well, of course, I was a little bit down, but every time when I was down, I tried to find a way how to, cheer myself up. Since I love singing, I went to sing to karaoke. When I just needed to place just to chill, I went to the ocean, I went to the forest or parks to spend time with yourself, with friends, or just, kind of refresh. And, it's really, when people just ask me about immigrating, I usually tell them another advice. It's better to try it out, and then you can compare your life here, your life back home, and they're always way back home. You always can go back home. Nobody will stop you to go back home, but you will never find out how it feels like and looks like unless you come here and try it out. Give a chance.
That's true. But you mean to compare to come here and live for some time?
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes it's not the same when you come as a visitor. When you come as a visitor, you have money, you have all this fun, you come back and you think, oh my God, I'm gonna live here. It's so much fun. I'm gonna run the world.
Yes.
And the second time when you immigrate with your family and if you have kids and you arrive, you just realize you don't have fun anymore. You have to work. You have to provide food.
You have to work no matter where you live, especially when you have family.
True, but the picture is different.
Of
when
course.
You come the first time, you have fun. It's like, wow, you didn't think about work that time.
That's why you need to talk to someone who's been living here, who could give you some advice and then telling you what you have to be prepared for. If you just move your entire family to the States, having 5 kids, having no job, no place to go, of course you are kind of screwed. I would say.
That's what happened when people they win a green card.
Mm-hmm.
They sell everything. They take their kids, money. They come here, and they think they have a lot. But in 1 year, all money are gone. And the biggest,
Yeah, there is another advice for the families. I'm a single guy, so it's easier for me. But for the family, I would say, through my friends' experiences with family, if you have kids and family, it's better for a husband to come first, to get a job, find a place to stay, starting working here, and then you can afford your family to come here and join you. Would be the easiest way. But at the same time, if only they all have visas or green card, this is the only condition. If they have a green card, it's even easier. You don't have to worry about your status, about your work permit, all the documentations. You come here, you get your green card, and you just can work. The only thing is you just need to think about your work, about your job, what you're going to do here.
I believe the biggest disappointment for the people is when they had a decent job. They come here and they realize they can work in a bank. They can run the hotels here until they start from the bottom. And this is the biggest pain for them. They had to maybe clean the houses, do all these dirty jobs.
Well, if you want to have a bright and successful future for your kids, you're willing to get any type of job at the beginning.
But what about us, not kids? Kids gonna have their life. What about us? We won't have our life.
Of course. It all depends on your attitude. Even when you have a kind of a dirty job, it's still respectful. This is the thing. In America, when you do any type of job, people are actually thankful, grateful. Yep. This is what I got the feeling when I was working as a mover. I was moving, furniture around, and if I would be a mover back in Russia,
Oh yeah.
It's another story, right?
Yes.
Here in the States, people are grateful and they respect what you're doing because you're helping them out. No matter what job you do, like even if you're just cleaning the apartments, most of the people, let's put this, most of the people, they are respectful and they give you good money and they even give you tips, and that's just the way how it is in the States. You know, no matter what type of job you have, if you do it properly in a good way, it's appreciated here.
I think it's mostly in our heads when we comparing, you know,
It's a
our
stereotypes.
countries. Yeah.
It is stereotypes. You know, like there are a lot of my friends who just had really good jobs in the States. I mean, back in Russia. For example, I have a friend of mine who worked as a dentist back in Russia, and he was making a decent amount of money, and he has 3 kids and a dog, so 3.5. So when they first started thinking about immigrating to America, they called me and I gave them some advice, what to be prepared of, you know. So they sold out all the properties, cars, everything, and they moved to America. And they stayed with me for a month at my place. 3 kids and a dog. And yeah, so
you know how
Yeah.
it is to have a family, right?
yeah, I helped them out to, you know, with all the things, with apartments, cars, everything. But then 2 months later, parents just, it's really hard for them to learn English. They didn't want to learn English.
How old were they?
They were about like 45-ish. His wife speaks German, so it was easier for her. But husband, he doesn't speak English that well, but he is a great dentist and a good technician. But he couldn't work here as a dentist, right? Because he should have a special
Yes.
license and all of that stuff. But since he was a good technician and he works with all the crowns, all that stuff, so he could start working as in the laboratory, you know, to make all those things. But 2 months later, they decided to go back home. They just had a kind of family meeting and they just told kids, you know, it was great to stay in America, right? You loved it? Kids, of course.
Yes.
Disneyland, you know, the Universal Studio, all those, like, you know, Six Flags. And kids are like 9, 11, 15. Of course, they
it's so
love
much-
California. And they say, well, now it's time to go home. We're buying an apartment there, and yeah. And you know what the kids said? You can go home, but we're staying here.
Oh wow.
They said, well, we will work and make money to stay here. We really love living in America. And parents just looked to each other and like, okay, fine, we're staying. And they've been living here for 3 years. She got a job, he got a job, and they're enjoying. They bought a house actually a couple months ago. And
There you go.
yeah, and they just enjoying life and everything is good. You know, it just all depends on your attitude and your desire. If you desire of something, you know, you will do everything which is possible or impossible to achieve your goal. So when you set the goal, you find the ways how to achieve it, and you make plans, you know. Before you come to America, you need to make a plan, right?
So what would be your advice if you come to the America? Should you apply for the university, or you can come and find a job and just climb the ladder, you know, working from the bottom your way up?
If you decide to become a student, it's a different story, because you apply for a student visa, you obtain F1 and I-20, but you're not allowed to work more than 20 hours only in the campus.
No, I'm asking like if you move with a family.
As a
You come
family.
here and let's say you cannot do what you used to do in your country. Should you go to the university, or should you start just working your way up?
My advice for all those who want to move to America and they're thinking about jobs, forget about what you did in Russia. If you want to start over the life here, a new life here, I would recommend to learn some kind of skills such as a hairdresser, masseuse, like everything what you can do with like service. Here in America, they really need people who can do all those things, and it get paid really well here. Hairdressers, all the like services, good money, good tips, and it's easier. You don't need to know your language. You don't need to know English that well. You're learning English, but at the same time, if you know how to use your hands, it will help you to earn enough money to be able to afford to stay here.